Why be rich? Imagine for a moment that you wake up tomorrow and discover you're the richest person in the world. Money is no longer an issue. You can buy whatever you want, go wherever you desire, and live the life you've always dreamed of. But here's the question that changes everything. Why be rich? What would you do with all that power? How would you use that wealth to influence the world around you? And most importantly, what do your intentions reveal about you? Wealth isn't just about numbers in a bank account. It's a powerful tool that can change lives, build empires, or destroy dreams. What you choose to do with it can be the difference between success and failure, not just financially, but as a human being. Because here's the thing, wealth isn't neutral. It amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, it will expand your generosity. If you're selfish, it will magnify your selfishness. And if there's something hidden within you, a vengeful intention, a dark desire to humiliate others or feel superior, wealth will bring it to the surface. Here's the point many people miss. Your intentions could be the biggest obstacle to your success. The law of attraction doesn't work like an ATM, where you just punch in the right code to get what you want. It responds to the energy you emit. If your intentions are selfish, greedy, or driven by anger, you might unknowingly be sabotaging your own dreams. And the worst part, these intentions aren't always obvious. They can hide behind justifications like, I deserve it, it's just business, or everyone for themselves. But the universe, or whatever you want to call that governing force of life, has a filter that doesn't care how much you want something, but why you want it. So before you chase wealth, stop and ask yourself, what would I do with it? How would I use this power? To build or to destroy? To lift others up or to elevate myself above them? And be careful, because the answer might not be as obvious as you think. Sometimes our darkest goals are disguised as ambition, success, or even justice. And if you're not careful, you could end up trapped in a cage of your own making. In this video, we're diving deep into this reflection, because wealth isn't the end goal, it's just the beginning. The real challenge is what you do with it, and in the end, the question that defines your success isn't how much do you have, but what do you use it for? The merit filter, what your choices reveal about you. Let's talk about the so-called merit filter. This filter isn't physical. It's not a person deciding who deserves what. It's a kind of natural law, an energy that responds to your deepest intentions. And here's the key. What you do with what you have, whether it's money, power, status, or anything else, reveals who you are. And depending on that, the universe may open or close doors for you. Let's take a practical example. You buy a pair of sneakers that cost over $1,000. Fine, you worked hard, you deserve to treat yourself, but then you decide to wear those sneakers to a party where you know most people are wearing shoes that cost less than 10% of what yours did. Why do you do that? What's your intention? Do you want to feel superior? Do you want people to look at you and think, wow, they're rich? Or worse, do you want to humiliate someone, even indirectly, by showing you can have something they can't? Now think about another situation. You drive a luxury car through a poor neighborhood. You know most people there will never be able to afford a car like that. What's your goal? To show you've achieved something they haven't? To make them envious? Or are you just showing off, even if unconsciously? Here's the question. What are you seeking when you make these choices? Attention, validation, power over others? Or are you just living your life not caring what others think? The problem is, often our actions are driven by intentions we don't even realize. And those intentions can be the real filter that determines whether you deserve what you want. Because let's be clear, the law of attraction, or whatever universal principle you want to call it, doesn't just care about what you do, but why you do it. If you're chasing wealth, success, or power to feel superior, to humiliate others, or to prove something to someone, that negative energy can backfire. The universe, in some way, senses that your intentions aren't aligned with the natural flow of abundance, which is generous, expansive, and inclusive. This isn't about moral judgment. It's not that you're a bad person for wanting expensive sneakers or a luxury car. The question is, what does it mean to you? If the answer is, I want this to feel better than others, then you might be creating an invisible barrier to the success you desire. Because true abundance doesn't come from ego, competition, or comparison. It comes from a place of gratitude, generosity, and purpose. And here's the challenge. Often these darker intentions are hidden even from ourselves. You might say, I just want nice sneakers, or I deserve to drive a luxury car. But deep down, you might be seeking something else, something that isn't aligned with the energy of abundance. And that's where the merit filter comes into play. So, the next time you think about buying something expensive, showing off, or flaunting what you've achieved, stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? What do I want to provoke in others? Envy, admiration, respect. And most importantly, what does this say about me? Because at the end of the day, the merit filter isn't there to punish or reward. It's there to ensure that the energy of abundance flows to where it can be used positively, to build, inspire, and uplift, not to destroy, humiliate, or dominate others. And if you want to access that energy, you need to start by looking inward and understanding what truly drives your actions. What to do with wealth, the responsibility of power, and the change that starts with you. When we achieve wealth, success, or any form of power, a crucial question arises. What do we do with it? Is the goal simply to accumulate more, to flaunt mansions, luxury cars, and a life of excess? Or can wealth be something greater, a tool to transform not just our own lives, but the world around us? Let's consider a practical example. In a certain state, the average salary for a nanny is $2,000. Now, imagine you can afford to pay that person $000. Now, imagine you can afford to pay that person $10,000 without it significantly affecting your income. Why not do it? Why not choose to value their work, recognize their importance, and help them live a more dignified life? Unfortunately, what we often see is the opposite. People who flaunt billion-dollar homes, yachts, and private jets but pay their employees minimum wage. Where's the balance in that? Where's the responsibility that comes with power? If those same people chose to value those who work for them, many social issues like inequality, lack of opportunity, and the devaluation of labor could start to be addressed. And here's the point. Change starts with you. Gandhi once said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And that statement has never been more relevant. If you want to see a fairer, more generous, and more humane world, you need to start acting that way. It's no use complaining about inequality if, when you have the chance to do something, you choose to maintain the status quo. Wealth isn't just about having. It's about doing. Doing what makes a difference. Making choices that positively impact people's lives, doing what's right, even when no one is watching. And this doesn't mean you have to give away your entire fortune or give up on your dreams. It means using what you have consciously and responsibly. For example, if you can pay an employee more, do it. If you can invest in projects that help underserved communities, do it. If you can use your influence to advocate for important causes, do it. And why do this? Because deep down, we're all connected. Wealth doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's built on the work, effort, and contributions of many people. And when you recognize that, you realize that true abundance isn't about hoarding. It's about sharing. But let's be honest, breaking social paradigms isn't easy. We live in a world that often values having over being, status over generosity, and that's where the courage to be different comes in. The courage to say, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to value people. I'm going to use my wealth to create a positive impact. And when you do that, something magical happens. You inspire others to do the same. You show that it's possible to be successful without being selfish, to have wealth without exploiting others, to live in abundance while contributing to a better world. So, if you've already achieved success or are on the path to it, remember, wealth is a responsibility, and what you do with it says a lot about who you are. You can choose to be part of the problem or part of the solution. You can choose to isolate yourself in your world of luxury or open doors to help others rise with you. In the end, the change we want to see in the world starts with the small choices we make every day. It starts with how we treat people, how we use our resources, and how we decide to impact the world around us. And, as Gandhi reminded us, be the change you wish to see in the world. Because in the end, true wealth isn't measured by what we have, but by what we do with what we have. Wealth is a choice, and change starts with you. So, after everything we've discussed, the question remains, what will you do with the wealth you have or desire to have? Will you use it only for your own benefit, or will you turn it into a tool to change lives, break paradigms, and build a fairer world? Remember, wealth isn't just about numbers in a bank account. It's about the impact you create, the lives you touch, and the legacy you leave. And here's the truth, you don't need to be a billionaire to start. Change begins with small actions. It could be paying someone a fair wage, supporting a social project, donating your time, or simply treating people with respect and generosity. Every choice you make is an opportunity to be the change you wish to see in the world. That's why I challenge you today. Do something. Don't wait until you have millions in the bank. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now with what you have, where you are. Be the person who values others, who breaks paradigms, who uses their power, no matter how small, to do good. Because at the end of the day, true wealth isn't about what you accumulate, it's about what you share. And if you're not sure where to start, here's your call to action. Choose one thing today. It could be something small, like acknowledging the work of someone who helps you, or something bigger, like supporting a cause you believe in. The important thing is to act, because when you do your part, you don't just transform the lives of others, you transform yourself. Now I want to hear from you. What would you do if you had all the wealth in the world? How would you use that power to impact people's lives? Share your ideas, dreams, and reflections in the comments. Let's create an inspiring conversation and learn from each other. And if this video resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Together we can spread the idea that wealth goes far beyond money. It's about what we do to make the world a better place. So, I'll ask you again, why be rich? The answer is in your hands, and the world is waiting to see what you'll do with it. Be the change. Start today. And remember, wealth is a choice. Choose wisely.